After 585 days in captivity, U.S.-Israeli hostage Eden Alexander is finally home from Hamas captivity in Gaza. 21-year-old Alexander was reunited with his family in emotional scenes last night in a U.S.-Hamas deal that did not involve Israeli negotiators. The IDF did halt military operations in parts of Gaza in order to facilitate the release and received Alexander from the Red Cross after the Hamas handover that was delayed for about 7 hours. Hamas says the Alexander release was a goodwill gesture to the United States as U.S. President Trump begins a visit to the Middle East. He was released following direct talks between the U.S. and Hamas that sidelined Israeli officials, who were updated only after the deal was struck. Alexander was the last living American hostage in captivity held by the terrorists. The bodies of 4 American citizens are still being held in Gaza. After arriving in Israel, Alexander, who was taken captive from his army base, embraced his parents and siblings and held up a sign in English thanking U.S. President Trump and in Hebrew saying, "The people of Israel live," and issued a shout-out to his comrades in the IDF Golani Brigade, where he served until his capture. U.S. President Donald Trump today begins his long-anticipated visit to the Middle East with the issues of Saudi normalization, the war in Gaza, and Iranian nuclearization all in the jam-packed agenda. Trump will visit Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates, and will reportedly focus his attention on the 3 energy-rich nations to leverage American economic interests and political deals. All 3 nations have built personal ties to the U.S. president and pledged trillions of dollars in U.S. investments, while also casting themselves as moderates in conflicts Trump wants to resolve, including Gaza, Ukraine, and Iran. Israel was left off Trump's Middle East agenda, but Prime Minister Netanyahu held discussions with U.S. Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff, who arrived straight from Oman and the latest round of U.S.-Iran nuclear talks. Netanyahu thanked Trump and Witkoff for the diplomatic efforts to free Alexander. He also thanked Trump for his ongoing diplomatic efforts and claimed that Israel's military pressure and Trump's political pressure were a winning formula. Meeting Witkoff and new U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee, Netanyahu also had a phone call with President Trump. According to a statement from the Prime Minister's office, Trump reiterated his commitment to Israel and his desire to continue close cooperation. The 2 leaders reportedly discussed the latest efforts to implement a new Gaza for ceasefire deal presented by Witkoff before Israel renewed its Gaza offensive on May 2nd.